Well, hello guys, and welcome back for day 7 of our 30-day accelerator. Now we are still busy building out our first Kajabi product. Yesterday we worked on starting the structure or the outline of your course product. And today we're going to look at making it a little bit more interesting with the use of thumbnails for your modules and your lessons. But I've got a few other little bits and pieces to cover with you today as well. So let me share my screen and we'll get into it. All right, so here we are back inside my Kajabi demo account, and I've jumped into the product that we started to set up yesterday. Now you might remember that in yesterday's tutorial, I just called it Meg's Amazing Course, I think was the name of the product. But then I went away and I thought about it and I decided, you know what? I've been planning to create a course called Sassy Bucks, which helps people to generate affiliate income in their business through promoting SaaS or software that they absolutely love. You guys would know that I'm an affiliate for Kajabi. I love Kajabi. I tell the whole world about Kajabi. I may as well generate some revenue, on that activity. So I wanted to help other people with generating affiliate income through technology. And so my idea for that was to create a course called Sassy Bucks. Now that is as far as I got with it, coming up with a course name. So I thought, all right, well, in order to build out this course structure or the course outline, what's a shortcut that I could take? So I went over to my lovely friend, ChatGPT, and I just said, "Hi, Chat. Can you please help me create a course outline for a 4-module course called Sassy Bucks, designed to help people create affiliate revenue by promoting their favorite tech tools?" And lovely Chat came back and said, "Sure thing." It gave me a little blurb, a course overview, and then the modules and the lessons inside of those modules, and also a couple of modules at the end to conclude. Now, I didn't look too much into this. I've just taken this at face value and put this information into Kajabi. I'm not going to overthink it at this point. So if we go back over to my course product over here, you'll see that everything that ChatGPT gave me, I just put it into here. So initially I had a module up here. I forget now what it was called. Basic something, I've completely forgotten. But anyway, to rename the modules, all you do is click on the actual module itself and a little pop-up is going to come up that asks you to rename it. And here you would put a thumbnail, okay? And we're going to talk about thumbnails in a second. We did that. Okay, and then I went through and I added in ChatGPT's recommended lessons per module. So if you can just click here on add content. Oops, I'll turn my highlighter back on. Click here on add content. And from there with the drop down, you can add in as many lessons as you need. So I put in all of the recommended lessons. Now I needed to put in some additional modules. So to do that, right at the top of the screen, up here where we've got this big black button for add content, I just clicked on that one and went through this process of adding modules, naming the modules, and then adding the lessons inside of the modules. Now, one thing that ChatGPT did do over here in its outline for me is it said at the bottom, let's also do a module for additional resources and a module for conclusion and next steps. And I thought about it, what I would like to do. I'm happy to have those modules, but I would prefer them in reverse order. So additional resources followed by conclusion and next steps. And next steps would be your opportunity to upsell them into your next program. So if I go back over here to the course outline down here, and then what you can do is you can grab onto that little equal sign and that notification that's popped up that says click to drag. And you can move this to another area inside of the course. Now, it can be a little bit fiddly, okay? If it's a little bit temperamental, you just have to be a bit patient with it. But you can move your modules around and you can also drag and drop lessons. If you've put a lesson into this module and you think actually that, actually belongs in a different module, you can move lessons into other modules inside of your course outline as well. Oops, you can see that it's moving around there, but I'll just put it back. Okay, so hopefully with any luck, you had a play around with the structure and you have also outlined, your course structure and created the modules and the lessons. Now, it's fine pretty much that everything is sat at draft. Anytime you create content in your Kajabi account, it will go in as draft. You need to remember to publish it once you're happy for your students to see it. Because if you don't publish anything, when you go through up here and you click this little dot to preview your product, if I bring it up over here, you can see that we've got the heading, we've got the title, and we've got the blurb and the colors that came through from yesterday when we set up the outline of the course. But down here, we don't have anything to see. There's no modules, there's no lessons, because everything in the back end is set as draft. So while you're looking to customize things, it's a good idea to come in and, even if it's just temporarily, come through here and just set a few things to published so that you can actually see them in the front end. Bear with me 1 second while I do that. We'll just publish a couple of modules and then a couple of lessons inside of those modules. Click to expand so we can see the lessons. And it will auto-save any changes you make here. You don't need to go and find a save button. Pop that one in. All right, so we've got 2 modules published now and a lesson inside of each module. So if I go now back over to that front end view and we refresh, okay, you can see that now we've got some stuff to see. Now, anywhere where you see that this sort of gray image box where it looks like there should be an image, that gray box is coming up because we haven't uploaded a thumbnail into the lesson. And if you forget to upload like several of your thumbnails, the end product is going to look a little bit ugly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make sure that everywhere there needs to be a thumbnail, we have actually put that into the system. So we're not going to worry too much about this front end today. That's another day. But if we go back over to the product over here, what we need to do is we need to make sure that every module has a thumbnail in it, so that if your students are looking at your course and they've filtered it by module, that the module thumbnails are going to show. So if I click here, every module has a spot for you to upload a thumbnail, and you can see that Kajabi have given you recommended dimensions, 1280 by 720. And then inside of each of the lessons, a thumbnail needs to go, and then also your overall course thumbnail. Okay, now you can't see that from here. You would actually have to click into the product settings, which is just this final tab here. If we click into there, what we're looking to do is put a thumbnail into this spot here. And that thumbnail is what's going to come through into the student library. Okay, so just there. So I changed the title here. I also changed the blurb. Okay, so both of those things are coming up in that front end view for the student. But what we also need to do is make sure we are putting an overall course thumbnail that is going to show up in the student library when your students log in. Now the dimensions for all of these thumbnails are the same, 1280 by 720. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually put together a Google Sheet, like a little checklist of things that you need to create as far as graphics. So I will link to that with this training. And over here inside of Canva, I've created a few starting templates for you guys. So let me just take you through. So this first one here, something like that would work for the overall thumbnail that you're using on the product. Okay, so the actual image that's going to show in the library. Then you're going to need some module thumbnails. Okay, so I did one style like this. That one's more of a product image. This one looks like a module image. And this one could be module or lesson. This one too, you can see here, lesson 2. So that is an example of a lesson thumbnail, right? But hopefully one of these designs might work for you. I wouldn't suggest that you work with all of them. Hopefully there's one that you like, that you could change the colors on, and then you could just keep it consistent throughout the course so that all your modules basically look pretty much the same. Update the text, perhaps update the colors for each module just to tell them apart, and then create some lesson thumbnails that are similar. Okay, so that was the first template that I've given you. Now later on, not today, but once we get into the actual branding of your course, right now we've just got a just a green background or a colored background for the product. If you wanted to, you can actually put like a banner image at the top of your product. And so I've also given you a template here in Canva that would be the right size for a banner image if you would like to work on that while you're doing your thumbnails. And later on, you might also like to put together course completion certificates. So I've got a template on that as well. While you're in Canva, you may as well do the lot. But the important thing to do today is the thumbnails that are going to go back over here are going to sit in the main product. So the main product thumbnail that's going to show up in the student library, and then your module thumbnails and the lesson thumbnails inside of the program. So for the lessons, in order to upload the lesson into each thumbnail, you'll need to click into each lesson. Just wait for it to load and I'll show you. Okay, so to switch out module thumbnails, just click on it, the pop-up comes up, you put your thumbnail in. To change out thumbnails inside of the lessons, you'll actually need to click in to the lesson, okay, and it's going to open up like this. And then you've got this spot over here in the sidebar to put your lesson thumbnail in. All right, so we're all going to put our creative designer hat on today and work on these thumbnail images. But while I'm here in the back of this product, let's just show you what else happens inside of a lesson, what your options are. Now, this one, we don't have any media showing at the top, but we could upload a video like an MP4, and we could also upload an audio file if we were creating an audio course rather than a video course. Then down here, you're going to put the text that students, might find useful that goes with this particular lesson. You can add in hyperlinks as you need to. You can also, as well as text, let me just write something here and just show you. Text here. Okay, now if you want to, it's a little bit delayed, there we go. You can add images in to the lesson. Okay, this lesson, the body of the lesson text can be quite long. I don't know what the character limit is, but it can be long. So you could put in blurbs of text, you could put in images. Now, if you wanted to embed something like a YouTube, perhaps you've got some sort of supplementary information that you would like your students to watch in addition to the main video that you're uploading at the top. And if you were to go over to your YouTube channel or somebody's YouTube channel and find the video that you want to embed, let's just say it's this one. If I click to share it and we click here on embed, you just grab that embed code, so where it says copy, and you can come back over into that lesson. What you need to do is click this little weird brackets here, this little source code icon. And then you just paste in that bit of iframe YouTube information like this. You click OK. And we will wait. It is loading. A little bit delayed, but it's coming. There it is. Okay, so you can have your blurb there. You can add in additional videos, resources as needed. You could add in podcast episodes if you wanted to, like anywhere where you can grab an iframe code from, something like this, iframe blah, 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 blah. You can come back over into your lesson post and put it into that source code area, and it's going to pop up. So put your media, or later we will be putting our media, whether it's video, audio, we'll be putting your lesson text. You can embed any additional information that you would like to embed. We're going to put our lesson thumbnail. Then down here, we can decide, do you want students when they're accessing your course to be able to comment on the lessons? Now, if they do comment, anyone else who's in the course can read their comments and reply. So it can become like a little chain of comments, and you guys need to decide whether or not you want the comments happening inside of the videos. You can always delete comments if you feel they're inappropriate. And you will get notified to your email that a comment has been posted so that you can go and reply. But you can decide here, do you want the comments on this lesson to be visible? Do you want them to be hidden so that no one knows that that feature even exists? Or do you want them to be locked? In which case people can see that there is the feature to comment, but that they just can't, it'll be grayed out. They won't actually be able to put a comment in. So usually I would go with visible or hidden. An opportunity to use locked might be if you had a really interesting thread of comments, but you've basically decided that you want to turn comments off now. Okay, you don't want any further comments, but you would like old comments to be readable. So in that case, you might go for locked. Okay, the comments is set per lesson. It's not set for the overall course. So as you're setting up your lessons inside of your course, you need to decide on the comment for each lesson. If there's any downloads to go with this particular lesson, you can put them in here. You can put all sorts of files in there. You can put zip files and SVGs and, like PDFs, and anything that you think is going to be useful to your students can go into this downloads area. And then once you're happy with it, you will set the lesson to published. And save. And then if we just go and preview this particular lesson, we're missing that thumbnail at the top. And then as we come down here, the colors that we gave Kajabi at the beginning when we generated this product, we gave it the primary color and the accent color, have both automatically pulled through to here. And that YouTube video that we added has also appeared. Okay, and comments are currently visible. So that feature is switched on. People could post a comment under this video if they wanted to. Now, there's lots more that we need to do with this product on the branding side. Not going to worry about that today. All I really wanted to cover with you guys in today's session is around finishing the build out of the structure. So the outline, the modules, and the lessons. Setting a couple of them to publish so that you can see how it'll look when you do preview the course. Then making sure that you put your thumbnails into the modules, into the lessons, and also into that overall image that represents your program up here, which you do in your site settings. And then inside of the lessons, getting comfortable with the types of files that you can upload, getting comfortable with your option for comments, getting comfortable with embedding things if you want to into the source code. And this is also where you would do those downloads. All right, so task that I'm leaving with you guys today is to get comfortable with all of that, but to go and have a play in Canva and work on those thumbnails, and put them, in line with your brand. Okay, so change out the colors. I've got the templates there for you, which are hopefully a useful starting point. But if you're familiar with Canva, this particular task won't be difficult. And if you need any help with it, please feel free to reach out. If you're stuck on the structure or the outline for your course, I highly recommend going and asking ChatGPT for its thoughts. Even if you don't stick with everything that it's given you, it's probably going to spark a few good ideas for you. All right, guys, so that is everything today. We've got more to go on the product creation. This is a big chunk of our 30 days. I will see you back for day 8.